And Raymond Akwa is also here. Good morning, Raymond.
I like the way you mentioned the John as part of the name, though. It's a very interesting one. You can be president.
Kojo said that last time he met a man in Cape Coast. He said, "Oh, when you pakron asantinyin, the brofono to form. Okay, you friend then." Then Kojo was struggling. Now listen to how the man mentioned the name. Oh, friend then, Elton John. Yes, he can be president. In Ghana, a lot
hopefully one day.
The tendency that will happen in the Fourth Republic too is high.
Oh, but at a point there was a no John campaign. No more John.
Yes,
no more John.
Yes.
And we had a William.
Yeah.
We had a William, or if you want Nana for short. So maybe you can also consider adding Nana to your name. Who knows? You may become president someday. Anyway, let's get to our Drive Safe campaign brought to us by Joy News and the Multimedia Group and supported by Toyota Ghana Company Limited, Toyota Superior Quality, and Imperial General Assurance Solid Protection. So avoid all distractions. Keep both eyes on the road and hands on the steering wheel. Be visible. Drive with your lights on at night. And that's how to drive safe. Let's learn how to say it right now. Brought to us by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
Something must be done.
I am quite hungry this morning. Probably because I resumed my weight loss regimen yesterday. It's nothing fancy. I simply eat no food after 7 p.m. A rather traumatic visit to the doctor occasioned my return to healthier ways. Now, I'm sure you've heard people use the word occasioned. Occasion can be a verb just as much as a noun. Now, as a verb, it means caused to happen. It does not mean happened. For example, you can't say Mary's dismissal occasioned on Monday. The correct way to use occasioned would be failure to meet sales targets occasioned Mary's dismissal on Monday. Simply put, as a verb, occasion is about what caused the occasion, not the occasion itself. And now we can all say it right.
You say either.
All right, so now you know how to say it right. Let's get into the news review brought to us by Enterprise Insurance, Woodie Wubumoto Promotion. Enterprise, your advantage.
Let me start with the Daily Graphic, and it's reporting this morning CSO's call on 2 EC appointees to resign. And that page 16 story was perhaps the biggest story of yesterday.
Absolutely.
Yes, where the Civic Forum Initiative, I mean, it was previously hosted, or I think it's still hosted by the IDEC.
IDEC, yeah.
Yes. It has several other institutions within its forum. Then CODU, which is an official made up of other institutions too, who are local election observers. Then the last one is Star Ghana Foundation. They all came to Ghana together, and in a very tough statement. First, they talked about, in fact, they dismissed claims that how the person is appointed and who is appointed is immaterial. They say the spirit of the Constitution makes it important that you appoint somebody who appears to be neutral so that there will not be any problems going into the future. That Ghana's democracy has largely been represented by electoral democracy, and the credibility of the Electoral Commission goes a long way to help people accepting the results of the election and everything around that. Then they proceeded to take the people that were recently appointed one by one. Dr. Apiahene, of previously of the University of Energy and Natural Resources.
He's still there.
Oh, he's still there. Yeah. Sometimes they take what they call it. How do you call it? Yeah, seconded, or they are on what they call it. So he, Dr. Apiahene, was reviewed. They got to the point where they said there's evidence on social media and increasingly being gathered that he had represented the NPP on platforms, and that in one of those instances he had actually thanked the party for making him represent them on the platform, and said things that suggested that he was either in bed with, or he was with.
He's actually the patron of TESCON, University of Energy and Natural Resources.
Yes, they didn't add the patron part to their because Nana B has been disputing that throughout his tenure, as youth organizer, and even before that, he knew all the patrons and he was not part of them. So, in all fairness, they were giving those indications. Then the other lady, they said she had very close connection with people who have held serious positions, including the current Maslok boss in the NPP, in the way that they are uncomfortable with how the tendency for influence will be increased. And that's what we were told. Their final talk was that the president could have made other choices, but since he's already appointed the people, they should resign. They should, on their own, based on their own integrity, based on their own honesty, resign, because they are not going to help the reputation of the institution. To me, the interesting part, if you ask me, was the part where they tracked from 2004 believe, trust in the EC and how it's been waning. Till now, the most recent reference was 10%, for more than 54% in 2004 to 10% now. And the insistence is that you do not improve the odds of the EC's trust being, the odds of the EC's trust will not be improved by appointing these people onto the commission, and that's what they asked for. Well, the MPP still insists that these are still not very strong reasons why they should be removed, because people are related to people in very varied forms. Then the MPP still insists that Dr. Apiahin, perhaps the most controversial of the decisions, really is not that. But see, the more they do that, the more videos pop up, and if you watch those videos, you come to some conclusion that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a member, loving the MPP, having sympathies with the MPP, but easy job. Yeah.
You see, the simple point is this. Now, while there had been criticisms towards, for instance, the current chairperson of the Electoral Commission, nobody has been able to say she's an MPP member.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But you know, they say that, oh yeah, she may support the NPP. She's not. Yeah, but they don't evidence. Yes, they don't move to this level.
While there were criticisms against Charlotte Osei, nobody had evidence, hardcore evidence, that she was a member of the NDC. As for Afarijan, you didn't find anything like that against him, and it's the reason whenever Afarijan declared elections, we never had concerns.
You may not like it.
You may not like it,
but you can really not attack.
Because
in fact, the biggest attack on Afarijan was arrogant.
Yes, but I told you
he doesn't
how
listen to us. Yeah.
Look, an election management body should not only be neutral, but should be seen also as neutral. It is very important. Now, the moment an election management body is seen as not neutral, results coming from the election management body will be disputed.
Even when there's no basis for it.
Even when there's no basis for it. And today, when a party in office, governing in a country where we have only electoral democracy, consistently makes reference to breaking the eight, it's like that's the most important thing to the NPP today. Not even the economic woes we find ourselves in. All the NPP keeps talking about is breaking the eight, and not the economic woes that we find ourselves in. By now, we should be having a national dialogue, a national conversation on how to get out of the economic problems we find ourselves in. But that's not what the NPP is doing. Even the program that has been taken to the IMF, we don't know. Unless we go and use RTI to go and request, the program that was sent to the IMF.
That's if you will get.
That's again. In the past, we have seen periods where all of us have come together and have reached a consensus and have sent it to the IMF. So when you do such a thing, you're appointing members that are perceived to be your party members. It is the wrong thing to do. And that's why, look, the call from Kudeyo is the right call. These persons should, as a matter of principle, if there's any in there, should resign.
Well, I doubt if you're going to get
them resigning.
Exactly, because
if I were to be there, I would have resigned.
Yeah, because my
every week, you see how this political party they do their thing. Every week, you will get them raising one concern about you, like the way every week they spring up one video of Dr. Apiahin. Today it's Nimdia FM. Tomorrow it's some program he is attending. I mean, listen, people attend programs in various capacities, but if these things continue about your role, you should be worried about your very self too.
Well, I get you, but I mean, clearly, some due diligence may have gone into the decision.
Sam.
Exactly. And so, the level of diligence that was employed in this, I mean, I think it's good that we question it. More importantly, when you have a state institution like the
Electoral Commission,
the Electoral Commission, the Council of State, their
supposed
role
to be consulted.
exactly their role in all of this, and whether or not they scrutinize all of these, the videos, the alleged connections to the MPP and all those issues, and then the conclusion is made that they are fit to hold this office. Clearly, there must be something that we don't know.
Well,
So let's just take it as somebody misled the
Come back
president.
to it.
We should be able to remove the person who misled the president, so that the person will not continuously mislead the president into appointing people that people will raise some of these concerns about. Anyway, but that's the biggest story on the front page of the Daily Graphic. The others, though, Easter celebrations. Easter has already started. Yeah. People are pretending Easter has not started. Love, forgiveness, honesty must reign supreme. Church leaders to Ghanaians, and as has been said, if you have money, it's Easter. If you don't have money, it's another weekend, a long weekend that it appears to be, really. And let me do this last one because it's important. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Nanaba Amfo, says rote learning is not helpful. I agree. I perfectly agree. I'm just praying that schools would agree to, and that teachers of the University of Ghana and other universities would equally know that there are modern, more important ways of teaching kids, and the expectations of the kids are not to be rote learners.
All right. So the daily statement says 7,000 direct jobs, 3,000 indirect, as 18th community mining scheme takes off. 300 million arbitration case against Ghana hits roadblock. This is in relation to the Ghana's chancery in Norway. There's also the Ghana Immigration Service condemns killing of officer at Boko, and we are learning of some chilling accounts leading up to his death. And I mean, to the point that we read information that he may have drove to a police station, and I mean that's where he was killed. Very, very sad. And indeed, if these rumors are true, then I guess our police will have some questions to answer. As far as this matter is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I'm told that investigations are. I mean, yesterday the Regional Security Council was in a meeting, and there were deliberations. Originally, you were expecting that by now the body will be released to the family, but they're still having a lot of discussions even before the body is released to the family. But if you listen to some of his friends who are in that part, they tell you how he was shot at close range, very close to a police station. In fact, they say that he drove into the police station, and it was at the police station that he was shot at close range. And while investigations are ongoing, we're told.
So there were no police people there?
They were there. There were police. Police station. When you could drive to a police station.
Police station, they operate 24/7.
Yes, we just recently announced.
Exactly.
Yes, I mean,
so there were police people there.
At a place
he
like
went to
Baku.
perhaps the safest place.
Yes, at a place like Baku. Because you see, when you look at the bullets that you see, it's at the back of the car. But he was the one that was actually driving. So all the bullets that you've seen on the car were bullets that actually hit the man at the back seat. But if you look at, the other ones, he was the one that was driving. And so when he quickly rushed to, a police station, from what I have gathered, unfortunately, when he got there, that was when he was shot, and then he died. We'll see. They say investigations are being done. Again, as a matter of principle, I've said that when you're very close to something, you don't want to talk. So I have known him for more than 20 years. I'd prefer to reserve my comments at this stage.
So Ghana Water Company is also chasing defaulters over 800 million Ghana cedi arrears. Very interesting. It looks like our utilities are suddenly awake to their responsibilities, and they are collecting money of people.
The last paper I have.
Before you get into your last paper,
I see.
I have the Daily Guide. Now it says Galamsey man owns 86-bedroom hotel. So the guy who's been who's on the run, who's been looked for,
who claims to be a police informant.
Sorry, the young man in the video where he appears to have accosted the policeman.
Yes,
and was
the leader of the
handling.
gang. Yes.
Oh, I see.
According to the Daily Guide,
he owns the 86.
Yes, according to the Daily Guide.
Oh, I see.
according to Daily Guide. Yes. 2024 presidential race, it's possible, says Bawumia. And I'm sure you saw the Ghana flag and the NPP, this thing, with this thing. It is possible.
So it's possible to merge Ghana and NPP?
I don't know. Now, we can do the analysis. But we must first of all start from who is putting this out. That would help you to understand. So, Dr. Bawumia wants to be flag bearer of NPP.
Yeah.
If he succeeds in becoming flag bearer of NPP, he could become president of Ghana if Ghanaians give him the chance.
Yeah.
So, if that is the case, my own understanding of this is that first, flag bearer of NPP, second, president of Ghana is a possibility.
Okay, it's possible.
That is what that's how I see it. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I'm inferring.
But I mean, the way they across the NPP flag and the Ghana flag, I thought there was some measure.
You're thinking that we're going back to the days where there were conversations about days that it got to a point that a party flag had become more like the national flag.
Yes. So I was thinking that it is possible to merge the two together.
Okay. Anyway, let me continue.
Okay.
Supreme Court decides Boga in quote MP's fate on May 17. That's also here, and 300 million arbitration against Ghana and Limbo. The Acacia's Mining had filed for arbitration, and Attorney General is challenging that. So that's what the story talks about.
That story is also on the front page of the New Crusading Guide. The other one is about National House of Chief Expanders Ashalaja Chief from Register and Abdul Razak Yakubu to contest Ayawaso Central NDC primaries. You know Abdul Razak, right?
Yeah,
he works at the British High Commission.
Yes.
Here in Ghana, and it was interesting to see that he came out. I think he's a political director there also. Yeah. Okay, well, that would not be so strange anyway. So we wish him all the best. And upon Nkrumah donates to Nsawam prison on his birthday, and Miracle Duka commissions a Francier community mining scheme, and that's also on the front page of their New Crusading Guide. So those are the stories there.
Let's get to our online news review now, brought to us by Zenith Bank, in your best interest. GOIL Good Energy. So GOIL, your oil marketing company of choice, keeps making life so convenient for you. GOIL now accepts Momo for all fuel purchases. Just remember to Momo it at GOIL. And that's not all. You can also use your bank card. That is all bank cards to buy fuel at GOIL. Drive to the nearest GOIL station now. Buy your fuel and pay by Momo bank card or GOIL Go card. Visit GOIL social media platforms. Facebook, GOIL.official. Instagram, GOIL_GH. And on Twitter, GOIL_official for more information on the service stations. You can conveniently use Momo. GOIL Good Energy, GOIL. Yeah, dear. MyJoyOnline.com says Kodeo demands immediate resignation of 2 new EC members. Government deploys 1,000 special forces to Boku following deadly attack on immigration officers after the fact. Let's get to citynewsroom.com. Says politically tainted board members will reduce confidence in the EC, according to Reverend Degbe. On CNN this morning, it talks about okay, I'll get you that shortly, but first let's go for the BBC News, brought to us by Fidelity Bank. Believe with us.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana